go.
There it is. Dave McMenamin does a phenomenal job covering the NBA and the Lakers as well here locally. McMenamin, Cappy's locked in today in a way that I haven't seen him locked in since LeBron broke the scoring record. So you got a locked-in Cappy today.
I love that, gentlemen. It's a big deal. We're like game 50-something of the regular season, yet it feels like a playoff atmosphere. I've been down at LA Live doing some hits for SportsCenter. The fans are already out here. I've seen Luka jerseys. I've seen signs. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere tonight.
Dave, I would love to talk to you about the piece that you wrote today, and I'll start off with this. When Luka gets to L.A., they put him in a hotel, and then the next morning they start shuttling him around. Is that right? Did I get all that the way you wanted me to read it?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, he finds out Saturday night about the trade. He's asleep. He gets a phone call from an associate who tells him his world is changing. Gets on a plane the next day, is met at the airport by Rob Pelinka, goes to the hotel, is met at the hotel by J.J. Redick. 8 a.m. Monday morning, goes to UCLA in Westwood. Full physical, extensive. The team wants to be sure that they can get a handle of that left calf injury that kept him out since Christmas Day. They felt confident with it. Then he goes to El Segundo. He's there all day. I mean, it's really just been nonstop ever since. And now you find this moment where it feels like almost yesterday that the trade happened, and here we have his former team coming in to Crypto.com Arena to play the Lakers.
The reason I asked it that way is because the way you write it is that, hey, they trade for Luka and Maxi Kleber. But when they pick him up the next morning to take him to UCLA to start doing all the testing, the Maxi Kleber part of the story goes away. Whatever happened to Maxi Kleber?
He's hurt.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, but did he come to L.A.?
He's here.
Okay, because Dave, it cracked me up when I was reading. I was like, well, they picked up Luka, and Maxi,
and it's Kleber, by the way.
Maxi was back at the hotel going, is anybody coming to pick me up? Does anybody want to take me to UCLA? Does anybody want to show me around?
Nah, he's on his crutches. He's fine.
What did happen to him? Did he come?
He was at the press conference. We interviewed him. Yeah, him and Markieff Morris.
Never saw him.
I thought you were locked in today.
I am locked in, but not on Kleber. But when I read Dave's piece today, I was like, what happened to that guy?
Do you want to ask Dave a different question?
No, I'm fine with it.
Oh, okay.
Dave, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, is this really what we're doing?
All right, let me ask you this, Dave.
Yeah.
So when you came on, we talked to you, I guess shortly after it all went down, and we never really got into what it could look like on the floor, other than we thought the offense could look good. I feel like Saturday was the perfect example of what that could look like. You've talked to LeBron, or in your story you have reporting about LeBron and how he got himself ready to play with Luka. For those that haven't had a chance to read it as closely as Cappy did,
it's a good piece.
What would you say about what LeBron said about playing with Luka and how he would have to kind of perhaps alter his game some?
Yeah, I spoke to him on this recent road trip in Portland, actually, after he had that big game with Luka out. And my question was to him, how have you made things comfortable for Luka since he joined the team? And he said, listen, I think our best version of this team will be the ball in Luka's hands. And so I'm ready to play off the ball. LeBron told me I've been working on my three-point shot and playing off the ball for years now. And really, if you think, when he came to Los Angeles in 2018, his kind of goal was to be around playmakers, so some of the responsibilities came off of his shoulders. It hasn't really gone that way for a variety of reasons. Injuries, obviously the Russell Westbrook trade was not the right playmaker to put next to LeBron James, but now he has full belief in the vision that they have put together, and he is ready to acquiesce to this 25-year-old superstar in Luka Dončić. I think the willingness will be a huge part of their success, because now it allows J.J. Redick to do all sorts of different things with this lineup, to stagger minutes where there's not LeBron playing with Luka. So those would be the times that he, really is taking control of things. Other times he's going to be playing off the ball, scoring off cuts, scoring off, whipping passes, skip passes over two defenders, like we saw in that Utah game they played right before the break. His excitement level is palpable. And obviously Luka, it's been a wild ride these last couple weeks, trying to come to terms with what's happened to his life. I mean, any listener, think about you're called up on a Saturday night, you and your significant other just had a child, you're putting down roots, looking into buying more property in the same place you lived for 7 years, and you're told you got to go somewhere else and have all new colleagues, et cetera, et cetera. It's been a lot to handle, but he's in a really good place right now as well.
Yeah, Dave, it's interesting what you just were saying about LeBron, because earlier this year, you and I had a conversation just trying to figure out where was LeBron at that point in the season. And this was when the Lakers had lost a couple of tough games on the road at Minnesota, in Miami. And J.J. Redick referenced that at some point he had a talk at that point with LeBron. And I have been so impressed with how this is before Luka, with how he's kind of recommitted and he's been playing defense. He's taken on the leadership. He's bringing the energy when he's at year 40 and year 22. And then Luka comes, and LeBron does the things that you just said. He's like, I'll stand in the corner and then figure out when to cut to the baseline. I'll play defense. I'll go bang bodies with Jokic in the paint. Like, he has done all of these things, and I just wondered, like, if you talk to him more about that, and if you've seen how much that's helped the rest of the team and everybody kind of following along, and what it takes for him to do that at this stage of his career.
Yeah, Mike. Of course, we've gone back to that conversation a couple times. There was a time of this season where the team didn't look very good and LeBron didn't look very good, and having covered him for a long time, my observation was, well, when LeBron feels like the players around him aren't necessarily, playing up to the vision, then he'll kind of go back to the familiar ways of playing, for better or for worse. Clearly, he has continued to buy in from that moment, and J.J. Redick, I think, has gotten more confidence, not just from LeBron, but for the rest of that locker room. And if they continue to play this style, and it's, of course, asking a lot for LeBron at this stage of his career to exert so much effort on both ends, but, on some level, it energizes him, because winning basketball is really all the guy wants to do from here until the end of his career. Like, that's his priority now. And if you give him a pathway to win, you're going to get the best out of the guy.
All right. Hey, Dave, I want to just jump in here because George has told me that I'm locked in on – I'm upset on behalf of Luka, meaning, like, I don't like the way he was insulted on the way out the door.
Yeah.
Okay, they called him fat, and everybody, it seemed like ownership, GM, et cetera. But I think
I feel like it's because you also take exception to the yourself at times with your visceral fat.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, so it hits close to home.
I don't think you look fat.
Well, thank you, but it's visceral.
Okay.
So anyway, Dave, one of the things I really enjoyed most about your piece today was your explanation. I hope you could share it with everybody, because I'm sure not everybody's had the chance to read it yet, about what Luka did during the All-Star break. Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, Cappy, obviously he needed a break. He needed to get away from it all. So he goes down to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And it is a vacation, but rather than just fully lean into a vacation, he links up with the Lakers. Scott Brooks, assistant coach, goes down there as well. They find a private estate with a outdoor basketball court. And I'm told that it was up to 2 hours a day over that break on the outdoor court, going through terminology with Scott Brooks, going through reps, working on his shot, getting accustomed to getting his wind back, dealing with that left calf injury that obviously sidelined him for 6 weeks, and then also working on weights in the weight room at the hotel he was staying at. So it was a time to obviously reset a little bit mentally, but it wasn't like he let all the physical responsibilities as he tries to get back to the guy who's been a 5-time All-NBA player go by the wayside. And it was a sign of commitment to the Lakers, quite frankly, and it's allowed them. Yeah, I mean, they stumbled, right? They didn't win against the Hornets right after the break. Luka didn't play the second half of a back-to-back, but look at the version of him that you saw in Denver. Look where the Lakers are right now. Really important, because the Lakers have looked really good now for 6 weeks with and without Luka, but they're going to have to continue to be really good for the next 6 weeks, next eight weeks leading into the playoffs, because the work's not done. They have a brutal stretch coming up, and the fact that they have shown that they can be locked in this quickly with Luka in the lineup will help them, because there's still a chance for them to do something really special this season. But unless they, can do the work to avoid the play-in tournament, maybe host a first-round series, it's going to be a really tough uphill battle come the postseason unless they do those things.
Dave McMenamin does a phenomenal job covering the NBA and your Los Angeles Lakers here at ESPN. We're always lucky to have him on. Dude, thanks for the time as always. Appreciate it.